我们反对的是共产党，它给世界带来了恐惧。这个带来的恐惧的原因，就是因为我们懦弱、自私。他们70年来欺骗了全世界，威胁了中国人，才让中国共产党有今天在全世界的风头。大家想一想，我郭文贵如果去了其他国家，我的结局是什么？不是把我锯掉了，是直接把我放到机器里变成火腿肠了，窝式火腿肠。而且在座的很多华人朋友，你们根本没有机会站在这个舞台上，因为共产党70年来都是成功的。
Evil done in Victoria streets, painted red on and one eye. The handgun, the curtains untied, the unaccounted bouts of treasures, or counterfeit, marching outside. It's Scotland Yards, they be working all night long. Nobody's left to go on the go for doubles back, smiling face on. They sounded like a symphony. This face and girl, let me play out your ending. The morning light will always fade away tonight, or to this day from outside.
他的恐吓，他的蓝金黄，他的威胁，让我们失去了尊严，失去了安全，失去了发声的自由和权利。我们感恩美国，我们感恩西方的媒体朋友们，与我们一起寻求真相，寻求正义。
How can the truth get exposed to places where no one goes? The simple smell of a rose, the secrets start to unfold. Every person wears a mask of fashion, reason and lie. Every action has a reason, that reason is I. Oh Father, 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 oh Father, Father, Father. In this life, how can we live without never sinning just once? We can forgive and forget, but we can live and let rest that cannot take the pieces that are coming to you and to light up. I hear a step close behind me, familiar smell, a flashing light. The door opens, we're turning around, the pages lie, left and written, crimson to the touch. No, so unhappy, row, well, no, this much felt too much as though I know it's the end. You never think of the reason I fought to defend. The only justice I knew now lives on silently, worse written to be seen. I hear a step behind me, say sound of all the just lie, the door opens, we're turning around, the pages lie, left and written, crimson to the touch. No, so unhappy, row, well, no, this much.
Always fade away tonight, or to this day from outside.
共产党对西方的威胁，绝对不是我在这里能形容的。接下来用我们的行动来证明给所有的全人民看，共产党是世界上最大的毒瘤。共产党一天待在中国，它都是人类最大的威胁。郭文贵总是有一句话，我们老叫身先阳谷先达线，我要用事实行动证明给你们。
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lila Hosh. Today, like in the last episode, we have talked about the childhood, teenager, and adolescence of Mao School, the initiator of whistleblower movement, and the founder of a new federal state of China. Mao's life experience is the best epitome of the Chinese Communist Party's enslavement and brutalization of the Chinese people, and that formulates Mao's aspirations to annihilate the Chinese Communist Party. In this episode, we will introduce the story of Mao's release from Qingfeng Detention Center to the establishment of Yuda Palace Hotel. Mouse School is a fighter for justice, kindness, and born for fighters, exterminator of communists. In the Qingfeng Detention Center, there were clerks and various anti-communist religious figures. Some of them were shot and some were released. One of them was released went back to the detention center to visit Mao's, who was a lover of freedom and democracy and also a Jew from Henan province. This man saved Mao School, and there were three reasons why he was willing to save Mouse from prison. Firstly, a young man of 19 years old, like Mouse, but with a huge fortune, and there were only a few people in China, even Deng Xiaoping's son Deng Pufeng was with the help of the Communist Party of couldn't create a fortune like Mouse, not to mention the fact that no one dared to use his wealth to support the student movement in 1989, but only Mouse. Secondly, although he was subjected to inhuman abuses by the Chinese Communist Party's police force in the prison, Mouse refused to surrender and persisted in the path of destroying the Chinese Communist Party. Thirdly, Mouse has a remarkable ability to learn and memorize, and he was able to immediately incorporate the knowledge taught by this Jew, not to mention his charming personality. On May 3rd, 1991, Mel's brother went to the Qingfeng Detention Center to pick him up and take him home, thus ending the 22 months of imprisonment in which he faced brutal mistreatment by the Chinese Communist Party. May 3rd is a special day, and the scars on Mel's body from the abuse and beating by the CCB and the journey he has taken in the past 20 years since he left Qingfeng Detention Center are reminding him not to forget his commitment and pursuit of the true realization of democracy and freedom of Chinese people. At the same time, we're very grateful to a general for giving Miles the advice that if Miles wants to leave, no matter who he talks to, he should say the CCB is the dearest, love the party more than everything. Because of this advice from a fellow fighter inside the party, Miles has survived the past 25 years of dealing with Chinese Communist Party before he left China. That's why Miles always says that 99% of the CCP members are good people, and that the whistleblower movement could not have succeeded without the help of the fellow fighter inside the party. Back to May 1991, Miles went back home. His wife, Yue Qingzhi, with his two children, lived in an old house in Shandong province with extreme poverty. The kids didn't even have a cornmeal to eat, no proper clothes to wear, and their clothes at home were not as good as those in Qingfeng Detention Center. And his children Guo Mei and Guo Qiang even could not recognize him.
Think about it. My son was just born when I was arrested. When I came back after 22 months, my son grew so tall and didn't recognize me at all. We ate pickled vegetables in my hometown. When I came back, your sister-in-law had only a few dozen yuan at home. Before I was arrested, I had a car and a motorcycle and I was doing well. When I came back, I lost everything. My wife wore a blue shirt, which looked like military uniform, and the jeans I bought for her when I left. Your sister-in-law was stunned, as if she didn't recognize me. I rode a bicycle with her, and she sat on the back of it. At that time, I lost my motorcycle. Oh, you don't understand my feeling, a kind of desolation. When I returned to my home, I saw the wall and old yard where my grandparents got married. I returned to my hometown from Puyang. When I came home, my son couldn't recognize me. Your sister-in-law had become a completely different person. She was like those rural ladies you saw on the internet. She looked very miserable. Then my mother used firewood to cook for me in the yard, and my uncle also cooked some meat. I was very miserable when I just came back from the detention center. Life then was very hard. When I went home, I saw my mom was cooking with some white flour. At that time, your sister-in-law told me that before you came home, We still had more than a bag of flour left in our house. Now we have nothing left after that.
The next day, Mouse left home. Instead of being destroyed by the big Communist Party's 22 months brutal and abusive imprisonment, he took immediate action to create a career and prepare for the elimination of the Chinese Communist Party. After leaving home, Mouse made his first money after his release from prison by marketing and selling economizer to then the Chinese People's Liberation Army troops. Through the economizer business, Mouse earned thousands of dollars. In just 2 months, Mouse went from nobody to somebody. Not only did he improve his family's life, like he bought a television for his family, and in early 1990s in the communist China, the average workers had to save money for several years before he could afford a TV. And in 90s, if one family had 10,000 RMB, they were already very rich people. There are two people played a very important role in Mao's startup phase. One is president of Anqing Bank in Anhui Province, lent 200,000 yuan to Mao to develop the economizer promoted by the army, and another one, Henan Fanxian Bank, lent 100,000 yuan to Mao. Do you know at that time borrowing like 100,000 yuan was more than 10 million yuan of loans today? So we can see the social skills and the connections of Mao when he was 21 years old. Like Minister of Zheng, joined forces with the entire Henan Gang, including the director of the Zhengzhou State Taxation Bureau, all the leaders of the Artillery Academy, the leaders of the Surviving and Mobbing Academy, and the Henan Court of the Justice, all of whom befriend with Mao. In less than a dozen months after leaving the Qingfeng Detention Center on May 3rd, 1991, Mao immediately organized and integrated these resources.
As everyone grows up, good credit becomes the foundation for our survival. Don't always look at the point in front of you. Instead, look further. Don't treat credit as a trading tool or token. It is a way to measure if what you do can bring you real enjoyment, not to use it for rewards or as a weight for trading. You will consistently benefit from maintaining good credit. This is how I have overcome challenges so far. Look at 83, 85, 86, 87, 88, 90, 91, and 92. All of my good and bad things were based on relationships, good credit, integrity, ability, and the attitude toward wealth.
Here we want to introduce the person who influenced Mao most and was his political and career mentor was Mr. He Lingle, without whom Mao could not be the man he is today. And China's most influential, at that moment, he was China's most influential people in the field of science and technology, and was Mr. He Lingle. Jiang Zemin praised him for opening the door to China's electronics. Mao spent one of the most beautiful moments in his life with Mr. He. Mr. He, who was in the Ministry of Electronics industry when he met Mao, he worked with Jiang Zemin, and he is also a cousin of Miss Xiaping. Mr. He Lingle was introduced to Mao by a cellmate who was convicted by counter-revolutionary crimes in Qingfeng Detention Center. After knowing Mao, Mr. He introduced a lot of investors for Mao, who made Mao was the only person in Henan province created the Big Boss Furniture Factory.
这当时我们是见摩根的整个集团去，我们去第二天见了摩根的所有的家族的人。那个时候，你看我跟他们所有见面，那时候贺老就给我设计好很多路，包括当时我们住在那个世贸中心旁边的万豪酒店， 给我安排的很多人都是过去美国到中国去投资的和政府里的最高端人士。今天你去想起来的时候，就是贺老现在人已经不在了。你看我那天一看照片，贺老的太太夏平董事长都不在了，4个人仨不在的，是吧？有时候5个人仨不在的，有俩不在的，这就是人生。我今天看这时候，兄弟姐妹们，看透生死，坚持你的信仰，它是多么的重要啊！所以说，这老照片打破个人崇拜，只有走过失败和久经考验的人生的正常的路，你才能配得上不忘初心。共产党的所谓的那一套东西全是骗人的，没有神，不要搞造神。再一个，最终神就是你看我今天所有的灭共的，不就是人那个欲望吗？它只是正义非正义而已。
Here was a letter from Mouse from Mr. He Lingle, and what he said in the letter was that I have to tell that the later half of my life has been changed because of you, and your outstanding performance has made me doubly proud of myself, and I have no regrets. Whenever I recall my miracle performance in these 10 years of shocking waves and frightening moments that always turn danger into safety, I would think the hand of God had you up to keep you from dangling from the high well. I also think that your mother's and father's education from childhood also laid a good foundation for your life. If there's no goodness of the basic qualities in you, you cannot be here today. The two still rails of life that I believe in are to be a good person and to be a person who has contributed to society. And you have done both brilliantly. Your super memory, perception, wisdom, strong perseverance, first-class social skill, acumen's ability to perceive and analyze people's psychology, all makes me admire from deepest heart. Mr. Hollingler always believes that there's a God protects Mouse and helps him from danger every time. Mr. Hollingler also recommended Mouse to his cousin, like Miss Xiaping from the first family in Nanjing, who helped Mouse realize his first real estate project, Yuda Palace Hotel. Miss Xiaping was the first luxury brand agent in Asia and the largest antique dealers in Asia. She also represented 56 brands like Hermes, Baccarat, Lalique, Van Cleef Arpels. One of the reasons why Mouse chose Miss Xiaping as a partner is Miss Xiaping's father, Miss He's uncle, was executed by Mao Zedong, and Miss Xia was absolutely against the Chinese Communist Party. Mr. He knew that Mouse was anti-communist, so he intentionally cultivated and protected Mouse. And the international cooperation between Miss Xiaping and Mouse realized in a week, including Mouse received $5 million from Miss Xiaping's first investment, which created the history of China's foreign business as the fastest and most accurate investment, but also the achievement of the construction of Mao's dream of art and the Buddha's hand of the Central China, but also make Mao's earlier to internationalization. The legend of Yuda International Trade Center has never stopped. We don't know how many great things happened in Yuda. Yuda International Trade Center verified the Central Plains is the home for military, political, and economic. The so-called great people always want to fight for Central Plains, but China's past decades' developments are related to Henan Yuda. A lot of the political events happened there. Over the years, Yuda International Trade Center has been operating smoothly. not only operating but also carry out equity business acquisitions as well as acquisitions of other assets. Even Yuda is making no profit but losing money every year to maintain the Chinese people 5 stars hotel. Yuda is absolutely in addition to Jinling Hotel in Nanjing. It's the first purely Chinese created construct designed and used the Chinese culture as the theme of the hotel, with Chinese people's surveys and standards, which make China's first world-class 5-star hotel one of the best 5-star hotel in the world. What made it possible? And Yuda is also the proud of Henan's people, the most modern image of Henan people. It is managed and operated by tens of thousands of excellent Henan people for decades. Without the person to quick, 60% of enterprise are old staff, and Yuda culture emotionally irrational. The Chinese, the Central Plains Buddha, it is a training base for talent. It's a formation of mass corporate culture, the birthplace of spirit. Yuda brings the peoples of the Central Plains to the world. It is not only the most important signs of international standards, but also the commercial standards of peoples of Henan's image.
The Yuda International Trade Building I built is still one of the world's best today. It serves as a role model for Hunan's social contributions and values. As for its influence of China's architecture, I believe no building can compare with Hunan Yuda. If I had relied on bribing officials at that time, I would not be able to survive today. Furthermore, Yuda has been thoroughly investigated in several corruption cases in Hunan. We were fine. If we were also corrupted, we would have been long gone. Hunan is a place with many talents. It cannot hide talents, elites, or entrepreneurs. From the past Lotus MSG to other large enterprises in Hunan, they have been divided or collapsed by people like Li Yo, including Heme and Yingji in Zhengzhou. Yingji was owned by Wei Xin, the founder of Peking University founder group, Li Longxin, and the new boss, who bought a Ferrari for Ling Jihua's son. Almost all of them no longer exist. The only boss who can survive for so long is me, Miles Guo. Once, when I went back, I saw a real estate owner in Hunan arrested, and a known loner genius named Zhang Xiaohong was also arrested. Hunan is a place that can't retain businesses or talents. We had invested $360 million in Hunan Yuda, with a daily sale of 3,000 yuan at the beginning and 200,000 to 300,000 yuan now. It is a miracle that it has survived to this day. However, it received no support from the Hunan or the Zhengzhou municipal government. Secretary Liu Yinping has also investigated and made this clear. My societal contribution to the local community, my impact on China's architectural art, the employment opportunities, and the shift in Hunan people's image cannot be described only by monetary figures, in my opinion. I was 21 years old, and I went there to build this enterprise. I have been losing money until today. However, in return, the reward I received from Hunan was to arrest all of my employees and family members. During the trial in Kaifeng, they inexplicably imposed crimes on my company employees and family members, and then fined me $150 million. I urge everyone around the world not to invest in Hunan. I have used nearly 27 years of experience. I have dedicated my youth, money, and sweat and tears, and what I lost is my family's freedom.
Miss Xiaping was one of the most invested overseas Chinese in China. Miss Xiaping, who also had the greatest influence on Miles, but she passed away because of her connections with Miles. She was robbed of all her assets in China by the Chinese Communist Party before she died. This is what happens to overseas Chinese when they deal with the Chinese Communist Party. And it was Mr. He Lingle's unique background coupled with Miss Xiaping's business connections that gave the talented Miles the wings to start prosperous life. Miss He Lingle cultivated Miles as gravedigger of the Chinese Communist Party, and he helped Miles met countless fellow fighters inside the party, and together with Chinese NFSC, they will take down the CCP. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
tell you what I've been through, baby. Lived a life that was hella unfair. Seen things that been driving me crazy. In a country where the leaders don't care. Didn't think we had the courage to change it. Tore it down and they weren't prepared. Everything that they kept us from saying. Now we talking and they better be scared. Take from us. Tell us what and who to love. Swear I finally had enough. It's time to